process of what you're interested, and secondly, the sources in which you're interested. So you're either going to the, for example, blogs, which are close to your opinion, and basically you share, or who are just totally contrary to your opinion. But you know, the basic problem is that in both situations, the chances that your opinion is going to be changed is very, very small. When you're staying basically with people which are very much part of your group, it's not simply that you're not changing your opinion, but even you're becoming much more extreme in certain beliefs which otherwise you're going to doubt. And he's shown that basically this is one of the mechanisms for the making of the terrorist cells. Because imagine that you identify yourself as an anti-globalist. But you're kind of a moderate guy. You're not a globalist, but you don't have all these businesses to be closed down. And you go to the forum or any type of basically information sharing group in the internet, which is very much anti-globalization. And you're reading, and you're starting to understand the views of the others. You perceive as not really anti-globalization. So when you keep those identity, you're starting to go more and more to the extreme. For the Bulgarians, I'm just going to give one example. Go to some of the political, for example, electronic magazines and others, which have a very classical political profile. For example, Medium. Very easy to perceive, being much more on the right against the other. If you go there, and if you try to write in the forum, you know that you identify as part of the crowd reading this, you should make the step more. And even if you believe that the government is not good enough, when you start to write, you're finding out that you're writing it's a criminal government. So from this point of view, this mechanism is very important, and the paradox is that we all believed that now with the internet we're much more exposed to different opinions and so on. No, we're exposed for much more different information. But when it comes to opinion, in a strange way, more than before, we're living in a kind of a ghettoized environment, where we either communicate with people who share our views, or we discuss with people whose views we hate. So for me, this is very important. And before going for the next stage and going to the problem of deliberation and deliberative poll, I want to be sure that this is also your view, because probably this is okay. Kasten has written this. Many people have been arguing with him, saying it's not true. Go, for example, to the Facebook and others. For example, for the younger generation, it's not exactly like this because they're using the internet on totally different principle. So I'm interested where you stand, when it comes, especially to the internet. Do you believe that the internet is really helping you to be exposed to different opinions on an active way, or do you believe that you're much more the same opinion group and basically staying there? When it comes to things like, politics, economy, I don't know what's not just
I don't think that that's just a problem with the internet. I think we have a problem with media in general. Like we were just discussing that I was just discussing it with my colleagues. We were talking about, they say we have more TVs now, big TV in Croatia, so we have more choice, but we don't really have because everything is the same. So you can't turn one program and there's, I don't know, a scientific or some kind of educational show, and on the other is reality show. It's not, it's only the same. There are different reality shows or different political shows, I don't know, but they're all the same. So that's not just a problem with internet.
Yeah, please.
Want to say something? Do you want to say something? I think you're right, and I personally read one of the same magazines. I have my bookmarks, and every day I would just click and check on them. So I think it makes sense, his idea has a point. But at the same time, I think the people who argue that it's not exactly so also are right, because I'm using Facebook as well. And there I have a lot of friends who would post an article, non-article. And I know these friends, and I know that they wouldn't post anything that's not interesting. And sometimes I would read something that I haven't chosen myself. It's not part of my bookmarks, but I would still read it. So somehow it's probably actually it's an affirmation of the same thesis, because I know these friends, and these friends are probably people who have the same bookmarks.
This was going to be exactly my point, because I agree very much it's not only about the internet. And it's not only, you have a kind of the idea of excessive pluralism of choices. But on one level you have this kind of dominant, commercially motivated culture where you basically go with what you believe people want to be. But secondly, it's even more important when we talk about politics and rights and others. They're less exposed to the view of the others, because this is like reading the newspaper, or you read the newspaper, even any type of newspaper, even idiotic newspaper. Because you are reading a paper and not on the internet. Nevertheless, if you're not, for example, very much interested in agricultural issues. Because there is an article on agriculture which is next to an article which you're interested to read, at least you're going to notice the title. And you're going to know something that you don't believe that you're interested to know. This type of occasional learning is a great advance. But this was also very important in the way that how often we meet people from different social groups. So from this point of view, this is my idea. What you're doing in society, because I saw that you have new human rights and new forms of engagement. Technological part is this. Of course, now you can through SMSs and other forms of Facebook gather 2,000 people anywhere to protest against something. But how you get people to come to something which is much more a policy and slightly more complicated scheme, which is simply not yes or no. All this type of mobilization that goes with the new media, internet and others is very much a type of a referendum type of movement. The day I need to be against something, for example, in Bulgaria there was a pretty much a quite interesting environmental movement, this safety recruitment. And you can put them in this saying, don't do this. Or you can take people to say, do this. How do you can discuss results? And where? This is my question. It's also your experience. I mean, it's logical experience, but also personal experience. Is there places where you're not simply going to demonstrate where you stand, but where you can, by the way, where you can really discuss issues where you don't know where you exactly stand on this? Because some of these issues are tough. For example, abortion is a much tougher issue than people try to basically to pretend to others. Where you discuss these type of issues? Is there public spaces like this?
Universities.
Yeah.
No, organized meetings by some NGOs. That's another matter. But it's again.
But is it going to be the people with different views?